I'm the chair of dermatology at the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Our department is actually the oldest dermatology department in the United States. And I came here because I wanted to really solidify the relationship between the US and the European dermatologists. I see the Europeans coming to our meetings, and I thought it was very appropriate for me to really begin to establish more connections with Europe, especially in these times where relationships are strained at the higher levels, say. So I really look forward to visiting Bordeaux as well. It's certainly an attraction, but I've really enjoyed seeing my colleagues from all over the world at this meeting. Yeah, so the ISID is a combination of the 3 or even 4 societies of dermatology. It's a very large meeting, and it's important because everyone is represented there. It's a much bigger meeting than either the American SID or the ESDR. That's the nice aspect of this meeting. I think it's more intimate than a lot of meetings, and you get the opportunity to meet many of the participants who are here, whereas some of the other meetings just don't have that. So I found that extremely attractive. The SID in the US has really increased in size. There's a lot more epidemiology. Whereas I think the ESDR also is increasing. Historically, it was known as mostly focused on immunology, but over the last few years, I think that it's really broadened its scope, and I really enjoyed hearing some of the lectures on regeneration and hair follicle development, PPARs. These were really excellent sessions, as well as the typical immunology, psoriasis, where lots of new advances have occurred. So it was a very nice representation of all the cutting edge science that's going on in dermatology. I think these are interesting times, and I do honestly believe that a lot of Americans want to show that we have a global view and want to really participate in meetings outside of the United States during these times. And also, I think, it's a way to establish connections with other investigators and throughout the world. This is really an international meeting. Yeah. So I just came from a lecture by Maria Mikola, who talked about hair follicle development. She's really a wunderkind in that field, and so it was great to hear from such an expert who's devoted her career to studying how hair follicles develop. And she presented just a beautiful history of this, as well as the real cutting-edge single-cell-seq technology that she's using, and the in vivo imaging that she's using is just so phenomenal. So it was really nice to see that story so well presented. I study stem cells in the hair follicle, and there was a lot of information here about aging and senescent cells and the accumulation of senescent cells and aging organisms that contribute to the aging phenotype, and ways to block that, and what role stem cells play in aging really are questions that I think came out of this meeting that I'm going to go back and think more about.